Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with a kind of review and my thoughts on the new Divine palette by Bad Habit. This is from the Shop Hush website, or I actually get mine off of the Shop Hush app because all items ship for free if you have the app. So, and a lot of the eyeshadow palettes are not available on their website or are only available on their app. I guess they're app exclusive, so it does pay to download that app if you're able to. So this is what the outside packaging looks like. And then this is what, and I got some of my Hourglass Scattered Light eyeshadow on it, so it is a little bit sparkly on the outside, but this is what the inner packaging looks like. Really beautiful, nice, thick cardboard packaging, which is what most of their palettes do come in. Very sturdy, store nicely, clean easily. I really, really like the outside packaging of this one. So it's got all of the shade names on the back. It has a nice big mirror, so nice big mirror there. And then this is what the inside of the palette looks like. Really beautiful. So this is supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona palette, I think the Star palette. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have owned a couple of Natasha Denona palettes now, never any of the big ones, because I am not going to pay $160, $180, $230 for an eyeshadow palette. There are plenty of eyeshadow palettes out there that are beautiful and are amazing quality that do not cost that much. So but I have owned some of her 5-pan palettes as well as the mini sunsets. The mattes were beautiful in those. I was not super impressed. I did have a few of my shimmer shades in those palettes create hard pan pretty quickly, so I did declutter those, if you can believe it. But so this is a dupe for one of those palettes. Now I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I do not like this palette. I do not like it. I have been impressed with most of Bad Habit's palettes. I own quite a few of them. This one it's just different. Now, the mattes in here are beautiful. They blend out beautifully. And I'm going to give you some swatches of this whole palette in just a little bit. But, and like I say, the mattes are very, very beautiful. But they're not overly pigmented. We've got a lot of overlapping shades in here, as you can see. These red shades are almost identical. They look a little bit different in the pan, but they're almost identical in the eyes. These two shimmer shades, I'm pretty sure, are absolutely identical. This one may be a hair darker, but you would never be able to tell once on the eyes. These are absolutely dusty glitter bombs. They do not perform well on the eyes at all. They feel, well, you'll see when I do the swatches that the glitter just flies everywhere. They are very dusty. This is just not a good palette in my opinion. I hate to say that because I love Bad Habit, but I'm not impressed with this palette. I am wearing this on my eyes today. I'm going to give you kind of a close-up, if you can see. Not now. It is looking better in the brighter lighting, but in person, the shimmers do not have a lot of impact to them. They are not, they're so powdery that they almost, it's like they have this weird matte base and they're just filled with glimmer or glitter. And the glitter flies all over your face and then you're left with this kind of muddy, matte looking eye. And I know that when I want a shimmer on my eye, I want it to either be a really shimmery, beautiful satin color, or I want it to be a really high impact foiled metallic finish. If it has glitter in it, I would prefer it to have like a nice foiled metallic finish, but with glitter in it. The kind of dusty matte with glitter is just not working for me. So again, this is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. The mattes look really nice. They blend it out nice. I will also tell you, I've tried this with a few different eye primers. I've tried it with a Smashbox primer. I've tried it with my Urban Decay primer potion. I have also, today I used a straight up glitter glue because this palette was not working with the other two primers for me. So I used a glitter glue and then just kind of set my crease area up to my eyebrow and then left the sticky base right on the lid so I could stick the kind of shimmer down to it, hoping that that would help. And I hate to say it really hasn't helped at all. So let me go ahead and get into some swatches of this for you. I will tell you this palette swatches beautifully, but this is one of those that swatches beautifully and does not perform as well in the eyes. So let's go ahead and get to swatching here. So we'll do this first row, and I hate to even do this because they're just going to crumble right out of the pan. Okay, so there we go. Some of the swatches. My camera will focus here. There we go. You can see just how crumbly these are. They're so crumbly. Okay. This shade here is just a complete dud. I think it's supposed to be some sort of glitter topper, and it's not good. I put that over the kind of bronzy color that I've got on my eyes today, and it did absolutely nothing. So let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. So those are the first 4 shades. Again, they swatch much nicer than they actually. Oh gosh, and I just want to give you a close-up of the pans here now after I've swatched these. If I can get my camera to focus. Come on, camera. I don't know if you can see because my camera's not wanting to focus on this very well, but there is a huge, there we go. There is a huge indentation in this pan now, just from where I rubbed my finger in it. So these are just weird shadows. They're just weird shadows. Okay, so we're gonna do the next 4 here. I'm gonna do these shades and then these 2. Okay. And I have eyeshadow all over my lap. Okay, so, and all down my arm. The mattes, again, really pretty, really soft, but tons of kick up in the pan. So if you do not like powdery shadows, this is not going to be for you. These are very powdery. And then this one is kind of, oops, that blue-green kind of duochrome color, which at this point I'm a little bit over. It seems like every palette is kind of putting a shade like that in there now. So I've got, you know, probably 10 palettes with a blue-green or a blue-brown, not blue-green, I'm sorry, a brown-blue or a brown-green kind of duochrome in it. This one is pretty though. This does have a nice texture. This is probably the best shadow in the palette, in my opinion, as far as the kind of metallic or shimmery shades go. Okay, let's go ahead and do these next 4. Sorry, I didn't give you some fingertip swatches of those last 4. Yeah, these are just, they're so weird. Okay, now that I'm down to the bottom of my arm, I'm probably just going to go ahead and start swatching on the back. Okay. So those are the first 2 rows. Sorry, my swatches do not look fantastic yet, but I'll get there. Okay, and then the bottom row, and you can see where the red has fallen all down into this pan. I mean, this is such a weird formula in this palette. I'm not impressed at all. Okay, these are the next 4 shades. And I was really excited for this one too. I was thinking that it was going to be really a beautiful palette. And it is. It looks really beautiful. It just doesn't perform beautifully. So those are the next 4 shades, and you can see that that cranberry color at the top there is almost identical to that cranberry color at the bottom there. They're almost the same shade. One is just a hair darker, but once you get them on the eyes, especially if you try and layer them, they're exactly the same shade. They do not do any, or they don't look any differently on the eyes at all. Okay, and then the last 2 shades here, so this shade and this shade, and I will show you how this shade is almost exactly the same as, sorry, I keep trying to put my fingers in front of the viewfinder thinking that that's where you're gonna see it best, and it's not. Okay, I'm a little scatterbrained. I just dropped my daughter off for her first day of kindergarten today, so it has been an emotional day. I think that my husband took it a lot harder than I did. I thought I was going to be an absolute wreck, and I did come home and have kind of a meltdown when I realized I was coming home to an empty house and my little one was not going to be here all day, and I'm going to be here all by myself, which is kind of like, yay, I get to, you know, I get to film all day, which I'm super happy about. And my husband went off to work, and I think that he had more of a meltdown than I did, and he's been texting me all day asking me if the school is called yet, if she's okay. So it's been a little bit of an emotional morning for me, so I'm a little bit scatterbrained, but I am very excited to be able to sit down and film. But anyway, so I just wanted to let you know that that's why I'm a little bit, you know, a little bit off today. Okay, so back to the eyeshadow. So I want to show you how similar this one is to the very first gold that I swatched. So, and I know these are weird swatches, and this is a weird place to put them, but it's the only available arm space I have. Okay, so there's that one, and this one's a little bit better textured. This I'm actually wearing on my eyes today, and you can see, I'm going to show you this swatch on my arm and how beautiful it is. Okay, and then I'm going to show you my eyes. And you can see it does look nice on camera and in the lights, but in person it's just not, it doesn't look like this at all. So there's that gold shade, and then there's that gold shade. And I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same shade. So you're getting a lot of repeats in this palette. A lot of the mattes look exactly the same. This brown and this brown are very similar. This one's got a little bit more of a pink tone to it, and this one is a little bit cooler toned, but on the eyes they look very, very similar. The 2 golds are very similar. The 2 reds are very similar. So yeah, there's just this matte here, if you can see it, and this matte here are very, very similar. They're almost the same color, and and if they're looking like that in the pan, definitely once you get them on the eyes and get them blended out, they're gonna definitely look exactly the same. So in my opinion, this is probably the worst Bad Habit palette that I've purchased to date. I do not see myself hanging on to this one for very long. I have worn it 3 different times and I'm not impressed. I've tried it with all different primers. I cannot get this one to work for me, guys, and I'm really sad because it is such a beautiful palette. But I will probably, at this point, I don't think I even want to play with it anymore, just because it's frustrating to use. I don't like getting the fallout all over my face, all over my clothing. So yeah, I hate that I had to give a very bad review, my first review on this channel. But I did want to let you know because they have also raised the price of their palettes. I've got the, which one is it? The one that's the purple one that's a dupe for the not the Sunset palette, the Lila palette. I've got that one, beautiful, and I paid $12 for it. I've got the, what's the other one? The one that is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. Beautiful palettes, and I paid $12 for these. This one was $16 and I'm just not impressed at all, and the quality is not good. It seems like it would be there, but it's just not. So Yeah, guys, don't waste your money on this palette. If you were looking at it, I would say give it a pass. I would probably, if you're just in love with the color scheme of this palette, I would probably just say go ahead and buy the real deal, because you're probably going to be a lot better off than getting that palette. But anyways, that is my kind of review and swatches and overview of the new Divine palette by Bad Habits. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!